Okay, got it. Don't worry about that. Just let me know straight away from now on. Yeah, thanks.
What's up? Is there a problem?
Yeah, something came up at the club. I don't want to bore you with the details, Kiryu-san.
I've got time. Go on. Talk to me. No need to keep quiet.
Should I really be consulting the legendary Yakuza about something this trivial?
It sounded pretty important when you were on the phone earlier.
Oh, I can't believe you heard that. How embarrassing. Guess I still got a lot to learn as a business owner.
So, a problem at the club, was it? That usually means sales aren't up to snuff, or the staff got headhunted.
Or sometimes you'll have the Yakuza harassing you, trying to make you cough up protection money.
I hear the Seiryu clan hasn't been going around doing that lately.
Really now? Good to hear. But yeah, one of our business rivals is headhunting our girls. Of course, that's not illegal here in Ijincho. Since the economy's down, everyone's desperate to survive.
How many girls did they poach from you?
So far, just the one. But it looks like they approached 4 or 5 other girls.
That's no minor issue.
If they all get headhunted, we're done for. I taught these girls everything they know. We won't be able to keep the club running without them. But that's not the worst of it. People are saying I'm trying to close up shop, which only makes it easier to drive these girls away from us.
Wait, they're saying what now?
Rumor has it that I'm totally on board with marrying that consulting firm CEO. It's true he hasn't been subtle about it, so other people assume I'm happy about the whole thing. That makes the rumor about me shutting down the club seem more plausible.
If that's really the case, then no wonder the girls think it'd be better to move to another club.
And the cherry on top? Nobody told me about the headhunting right away because they cared about my happiness. In fact, they finally let me know in that last phone call.
Really? And you didn't want to tell me? This is getting out of hand.
Honestly, I'm more shocked that my girls kept this from me. Especially because I figured telling them to open up to me would be the best way to keep things casual. By the way, is it just me, or is there just too fine a line between caring and being overbearing lately?
When you climb up to a higher position, that may create a rift between you and other people. It happens. But something's bugging me about the headhunting.
Huh? What about it?
Don't you think this could all be a setup?
A setup? By who?
The CEO of the consulting firm who's been pursuing you. It all makes sense. His constant proposals made it easier for the girls to leave the club.
You really think so?
All the girls at your club were trained by you, so they likely feel a deep sense of gratitude. Normally, they wouldn't be persuaded so easily. They would have reported to you right away, so you could deal with it appropriately.
Yeah, that's how it should have gone, but...
Too much of a stretch?
I've told you before, right? That CEO's loaded, so he's not exactly strapped for cash. Why would someone like that be headhunting hostesses?
That's true.
And I don't mean to flatter myself here, but he takes each and every proposal seriously. If this was some kind of marriage scam, I would have seen right through him.
Can't argue against that.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to blow up at you. But I'll look into this incident anyway, just in case, to see if he's involved.
Sorry if I offended you. I crossed the line even though I don't know much about running a business.
It's fine. No offense taken. You're pretty much the only one who'd hear me out on these kinds of things lately, Kiryu-san.
I'm glad I could lend you an ear. Feel free to try and bore me all you want.
I think I might take you up on that.
Sunhee, what happened with that small fire? The one where the Liumang set fire to Komijul turf.
Oh, thanks for your concern, but I'd rather talk about literally anything else. There's some dissent within Ijincho, just something I have to deal with as a leader. Just nothing you should be worried about.
No can do. You shouldn't have to shoulder that burden all by yourself. Why don't you lay it on me? You mentioned before there aren't many people who can drink with you as equals.
I did say that, but... screw it. There really is no winning with you, honestly. I didn't want to air out our dirty laundry in front of you.
So it was arson. But nobody saw who did it.
Right. All we know right now is that the culprit was fully aware they were setting fire to Komijul turf.
Don't you find that a little strange?
How so?
If I remember correctly, your subordinate didn't hesitate to tell you that the Liumang was behind it. But how could they call them out without an eyewitness account?
So you've noticed. Impressive. Long story short, the accusations against the Liumang are false. There's no evidence pointing to the perp, so it's all bullshit. But someone managed to escalate that BS to me without having to go through any filters. That's the real problem.
What do you mean?
I'm saying the lie originated within Komijul, among the top brass at that.
In other words, one of the Komijul officers tried to deceive you with a false report.
Precisely. He probably made his underlings start the fire, then spread the rumor that the Liumang was behind it. This act of betrayal only serves to escalate tension between Komijul and the Liumang. I can't turn a blind eye to it.
You're right. One wrong move and it'll lead to an all-out war between the two of them.
Truth is, some people aren't too happy to see Komijul and the Liumang getting along. By deepening the division and sowing discord, they'll be able to pin the blame on me for failing to take action. That's the traitor's end goal. He wants to chase me out and seize my throne to rule Komijul himself.
You managed to dig all that up? Then did you find out who the traitor is?
I did, actually. He got sloppy when leaking the rumor. Turns out the traitor is the eldest of Komijul's officers. His name is Hanchul-sa.
So, that's him there, huh?
One of my great and wise uncles I've talked about before. At his age, he should be thinking about retirement. Guess he wanted to make a name for himself before going out.
By betraying you, no less. If he's the oldest, then the two of you must go way back. I'm sorry to hear that. I understand why you didn't want to talk about it now.
Yet I still opened up about everything from start to finish. Just how do you do it, Kiryu-san?
I only hope you feel a little better after talking about it.
This is such a mess. I really didn't want you to see me like this. I can't believe I just spilled everything to you.
Was Hanchul-sa dissatisfied about something? I doubt he'd plan a coup for no reason.
I can't think of anything. Except for the fact that I'm younger than him, and a woman. Considering he's a man who's faced countless adversities in battle, perhaps he doesn't want to end up under a leader like me.
Most old men probably would think so.
I've received the same report from different sources stating that Hanchul-sa is secretly rallying people to rebel. Saying crap like Sunhee is capable for a woman, sure, but weak-willed, and other people are more suited to lead.
So he's been working the rumor mill.
I can find out anything and everything that happens in Ijincho. Hanchil-sa won't be able to keep up with the information warfare. But people look up to him as a legend of the past. My generation grew up listening to stories of his heroics. He once fought to the death with the Tojo clan back in its heyday. I never thought he would ever become my enemy.
A man too full of pride is a man stuck in time, unable to move on. Nothing more than a relic of the past.
Yeah, that old man's far too reckless for his own good. Oh, but he's older than you, Kiryu-san. Much older. You're not even in the same age group.
You don't have to force yourself to say that. More importantly, what do you plan to do about him? As the head, it's up to you to decide how to deal with traitors.
See, this is exactly why I didn't want to talk about this with you, Kiryu-san. Truth be told, I haven't made up my mind yet.
It's a tough call to make, given how complicated the situation is.
A leader needs to be able to make snap decisions for the good of the organization. I need time, though. This is a difficult situation, but knowing you understand that is reassuring. Thank you, Kiryu-san. Sharing your suspicions with someone else does help clear things up.
Yeah, it certainly seems so.
I'm sure you have other things to do, though. Your own problems are even more pressing than mine. I don't want to cause you any trouble, so...
So?
Can we just drink and talk about something stupid now?
Sure. What better way is there to booze?
You really do get me. Always have. Fine.
Leave it to me. Hello?
Kiryu-san, it's Son-hee. Sorry to bring bad news, but it looks like the Seiryu clan set us up.
What do you mean?
Here, check the video I sent you. It was posted just now by Totora, one of the more popular VTubers.
VTuber?
What's up, people? Totora channel coming at ya! As always, we're out to boldly reveal the evils this media's just too scared to touch. The title for today's episode is... A super big shot Yakuza long thought dead suddenly returns from the grave? First off, let's take a good look at this photo. In it is Kazuma Kiryu, legendary Yakuza to some, hardened criminal to others. Known as the Dragon of Dojima in Kamurocho, he was also the chairman of the Tojo clan, the largest Yakuza group in the Kanto area. 7 years ago, in Hiroshima, Kiryu-san was shot to death as a result of gang-related activities. Or so we were led to believe. This video here, recorded in Hawaii, is no more than a few days old. And if we zoom in to get a closer look... My! He looks a lot like Kazuma Kiryu, doesn't he? I mean, you're practically twins! Now, let's continue the footage, shall we?
Long time no see, Kasuga. Whoa. Kiryu-san? Is that you? Who else would it be?
You hear that? The other guy just called him Kiryu-san, didn't he? Does that not blow your mind, people? The dragon is back from the dead! Oh, and we're not done just yet. This footage hides yet another juicy surprise. Did you happen to catch it? Right here! Do you all remember him?
Long time no see, Kasuga.
It's Ichiban Kasuga, whose cover we blew on this channel before! Yokohama's so-called hero! So a long-lost legend is really alive and kicking. Plus he's pals with Ichiban Kasuga? Okay, what is really going on here? To help shed light on that, I've invited some very special guests for this occasion. You'll be meeting the Underworld's top dogs, currently leading the most powerful Yakuza organization in Japan. Here we go! These gentlemen are in charge of a group called the Seiryu clan. Thank you both for joining us today. Let's get right to it. You've seen the footage of Kazuma Kiryu yourselves. What do you think?
That's him, without a shadow of a doubt. As a matter of fact, he paid a little visit to our office here only yesterday, which goes to show the man never died. It was an act. That, in turn, leads me to believe law enforcement might have had a hand in this charade.
You're saying the police helped Kiryu fake his death? How is that even possible?
Kazuma Kiryu was the fourth chairman of the Tojo clan, and despite their rivalry, he was also quite close with Chairman Watase of the Omi Alliance. Naturally, he would have had a wide range of support from Japan's underground, being in it all those years.
And that's to say nothing of the late Minoru Daidoji, whose cabal still straddles the political and finance sectors. If even one of those groups were to put pressure on the police, well, I'm sure you can imagine they'd comply. But let's move on. Take a look at this footage from yesterday.
Kazuma Kiryu again! And sitting across from him, is that...
Yes, that would be the two of us.
Can you elaborate on what's going on here?
Kazuma Kiryu, as you clearly saw in the Hawaii footage, is likely the one pulling Ichiban Kasuga's strings. Now why, after spending so long in hiding, would he suddenly emerge like this? I can only think of one plausible reason. The resurrection of the Tojo clan. He came here just as we'd finished refurbishing the old Tojo clan headquarters, stating he'll use any means to reclaim it. Need proof? The video here should be more than enough to convince you.
Wow, I'm glad you're both safe. What a menace Kiryu is! How can he just be allowed to walk free?
Well, he's been officially pronounced dead. It's why the police can't touch him. Still, in an effort to make a difference, we brought this to your attention in hopes that it would help.
Oh, now it's all starting to come together. Thank you so much for this information. Well, everyone, Totora channel's on it, and we'll chase Kazuma Kiryu to the ends of the earth. Fear not. This state-protected, privileged class of Yakuza can't run forever. The truth will always win out. Above all, the Tojo clan must not be resurrected. Let's make sure to put a stop to it. That's all for today. And if you spot Kazuma Kiryu, drop me a line.
Kiryu-san, we got trouble on the internet. It's the damn Totora again.
I guess you already know.
Sun-Hee just finished telling me.
You gonna be alright? Now that your name and face are broadcast out in the open?
I'm not sure. We'll see how Hanawa responds. But either way, I don't have long to live. In that sense, it's not a big deal.
Don't say that, Kiryu-san.
You know, maybe I ought to give Ebina and Sawashiro a word of thanks. And then some.
Seriously? I, for one, want to know what the hell they were thinking. What was their goal in all this?
Could be we got under their skin yesterday. And this was how they retaliated.
Hey, didn't Totora spread rumors about Ichiban too? Something like former Yakuza makes a killing by forcing other ex-criminals to steal? He was only doing his job, but the video spun it completely out of context.
Right.
That channel's known for trying to expose the evil the media's too afraid to touch. And actually, their scoops are mostly legitimate. But why does their information get twisted when the spotlight's on Ichiban and Kiryu-san?
Hey, if I knew, I'd tell you.
Not only that, why is Ebina bothering to lend Totora a hand? Seems pretty out of place for a Yakuza to go on camera like that. Plus, that footage with Kiryu-san was taken just yesterday. Yet they already had a smear campaign prepped and ready?
Nice catch. You got a good eye, Psycho.
Sun-Hee, did you come running all this way?
The situation called for it. But this isn't about me. I don't have positive proof yet, but there's a good chance Ebina and Totora were partners for a long time.
Is that right? How long are we talking?
At least before any of you even knew their names.
How can you be so sure?
Why else would Ebina and his lackey go on stream with some VTuber who has nothing to do with the Yakuza? Anyone in the position to lead the Seiryu clan would never pull a stunt like that. It's too big a risk for one, but as you saw, they did it anyway. So, here's what I think could happen. Ebina might start using Totora to broadcast any propaganda that suits his needs. And that's to 5 million subscribers, by the way. And I'll even take it a step further and say this. I think Ebina's been Totora's major source of intel for everything that's happened so far.
Wait a minute. So, Ebina, a leader in the Yakuza world, is behind the Totora channel of all things?
What makes you think that, Sun-Hee?
Ebina's background tells it all. He used to be one of Tokyo PD's top elites.
Was he really? And now he's a Yakuza captain. Talk about turning the wrong leaf. What would make him do that?
I don't know the particulars. There wasn't any scandal I could trace it to. But with history like that, I'm sure he's got a wealth of stories the media's never seen or heard.
Isn't that a fair bit of assumption, though?
Sure, but it's not like it's unfounded.
Oh, you know what? This involves Ichiban directly. Right after Totora effectively canceled him, Sawashiro goes and sends him to Hawaii.
Meaning...
Well, I just wonder, had Ichiban been able to keep giving work to ex-Yakuza, would he still have said yes to going there?
So then, Sawashiro wanted Kasuga in Hawaii for his own ends. And for that to happen, Totora made it so he had to leave his job. The timing was too convenient.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is, it's possible Sawashiro's been stringing Ichiban along. And if that's true, it's not a stretch to say they know more than they let on about Polycana.
So, if everything was orchestrated by Ebina and Sawashiro, what would be their next move?
Good question. I guess that's the part we're all stumped on.
Should we go have another chat?
I would love to, but the situation's changed. One false step, and we'll be staring down every last member of the Seiryu clan. After putting footage like that out there, they're obviously ready for a fight. And if Kiryu-san isn't his usual self, we shouldn't pick a fight we can't win.
As much as I hate to admit it, I think you might be right.
Okay, then why don't we do this?
What?
Now that the Seiryu clan opened a branch office, there shouldn't be as many of them back at Ijincho. So, we should hit their HQ first. Figure we might be able to get who's in charge to talk.
Nanba, that's actually not such a bad idea.
Yeah, let's give it a shot.